on in. Joining us from DePaul, interim head coach Jill Pizzotti, student athlete Jory Allen. We'll begin with an opening statement from coach, then we'll go to questions for Jory, allow her to get back to the locker room, and close out with questions for coach.
Just a really tough game. I give a lot of credit for Xavier for coming out ready to play, and a couple of their kids really having big games. Jory Allen for us, just as you watch her play, you can see she does everything that she possibly can to try to get a win for us, and that's how she's been all year. And she's been an unbelievable leader for our team, and we tried to make her do everything again tonight. But I'll give some credit to Xavier, but then also really want to speak about the fact that Jory Allen's been an unbelievable leader for this basketball team this year.
We'll start with questions for Jory. Back right.
DJ Harding, Chicago State of Mind. Jory, you had a double-double. I just wanted to ask, what has playing for DePaul meant to you so far? And then I have a follow-up.
DePaul has been a home for me the past 5 years. I've met a lot of great people. I'm extremely loved and supported in everything I do there. It's made me, who I am. It's allowed me to grow into who I am today, and I'm going to be forever thankful for all my experiences with DePaul, on the court, off the court, and that's what it's meant.
And then at halftime, I just want to get, what was the message in the locker room, before you guys started climbing back in that game despite the loss?
We just talked about competing. I thought Xavier did a tremendous job of taking it to us in the first half, and we did not respond well, which was on my part almost, I was expecting us to get off to a rough start just because we're a young team, and tournament time is always, you always feel those nerves for that first time in that first game. But I just told my girls, it might be tough in the beginning, but just stay together, weather the storm, stick to the game plan. But Xavier was making plays and we weren't, and that was the difference. So in the locker room, Coach Jill was telling us get back, to our fundamentals and be strong with the ball on the offense and defensively, to do what we talked about in practice, and be in rotations, be there for each other, know what we're trying to do as a team. I was really excited to see everybody come alive in the second half. That was a lot of fun. That's what March Madness is all about. I'm glad we made everybody a little bit nervous, and we just couldn't pull it out. But it was a fun second half, and it was a bumpy season for us, I think, but very enjoyable on my part.
Question here in the second row.
Peyton Hopp of the DePaulia. Jory, of course, it was your last game as a Blue Demon. How are you feeling?
I'm very hungry right now. Besides that, I don't have a great answer for you. I think I got a lot of my emotion out last weekend at senior day. That day was almost overwhelming, and just the appreciation and love I got from, Dwayne Peavy, my athletic director, to, the guy I say hi to every day when I walk into the building. Everybody just made it known that I put a smile on their face, and in turn, I hope that everyone knows that the best part of this whole experience for me was coming in every day and seeing my people, and the joy of the game is not always in the big moments. The joy of the game is practicing, and I firmly believe that. I loved coming in every day and getting to work and going through our routine and seeing the ball go through the hoop and imagining what it's going to look like on the floor in a game. So I guess a lot's going through my mind right now, but at the same time, I'm looking forward to going and having dinner with my parents right now. And I think of course, I'm disappointed, but at the same time, I'm proud.
We'll stay in the second row right here.
Hi, Laura from the DePaulia 2. Jory, you've been a leader and you call your team your girls. What would be your message to your girls after this season?
I tell them all the time to find what makes them happy and pursue that on and off the court. And you don't have to conform to, any particular position or path. It can be exactly what you want it to be. And I think I'm a great example of that. I mean, I made 1 3 this season, but I still, was a scorer. You don't have to, and I can shoot threes. I just don't. I was never out there. And academically, I thought I was a political science major, and I thought I wanted to go to law school, but then I got into creative writing, and now I just want to write books. But I tell them all the time, you come in, you work hard, and you enjoy the people around you, everything's gonna work out for you. And with each year they're here, their experience is gonna pile up, and they're gonna get more confident. And in situations that are difficult at the college level, upperclassmen always see themselves in younger classmen because we've been there, we've gone through it, whether it be injury or things off the court or relationships with coaches and stuff like that. So I gotta tell them, just enjoy the time and be them.
Any other questions for Jory? Thank you so much for your time.
Thanks, guys.
Questions for Coach? Back right corner.
Coach, DJ Harding, Chicago State of Mind. I just first wanted to ask, kind of like how this game went. I'm assuming through your season, like you guys have fought through adversity. Just how do your team and how do you personally just fight through adversity through this season?
Well, just, the kids, our team was dealt adversity in September when Coach had to go on medical leave. And you just talk about coming into work every day and work to get better. We had a very young team, 10 freshmen and sophomores, a couple transfers who hadn't really played at this level. So it was all about a focus on working to come in every day and get better. And then we dealt with several injuries to several guards, and it's just an opportunity. It's an opportunity for people to step up, and then we had a really tough non-conference schedule. So they've been used to dealing with adversity and just fighting through it. And I thought this group did a great job of fighting through all of that and really believing in themselves for Big East play. And at halftime when we're down and Canerva hits the 3 to, I think it's 14 at halftime, it's just dig in, and you got to get stops on the defensive end, and then come down and again fundamentally do what we're trying to get done on offense. Again, I give a lot of credit to Mayo. She hits 6 threes, and she wasn't a secret. We did know about her. We were trying not to allow her to catch and shoot threes, but. It's just a matter of battling, and then when we started to battle, we said, hey, let's try to cut at the end of the third quarter to 13, and we came in down 11, and then it was just possession by possession. You just have to battle. You got to battle, and then there's a timeout when the score was tied 62, and it's like, hey, you fought yourself up the mountain, but now you got to keep fighting. You got to keep fighting, and again, to Xavier's credit, they answered with a bucket. They're a team that doesn't necessarily. They're a team that shot extremely well from the free throw line today, given their season stats, and that's what you've got to do in games like this, So, in the locker room afterward, it's March basketball. If you want to survive in advance, as they say, you've got to execute game plan, and you got to make big shots, and people have to step up, and it's we ended up on the short end today, and it's great to see us battle back, but our job is to always to fight hard and to do that, so it would have been great if we could have completely turned a corner and come away with a W. But again, I give Xavier some credit for going down the stretch, making a bunch of free throws, and handling the game.
We'll go to Megan in the back left.
Megan Caffrey, Big East. Coach, kind of going off that of your team's ability to battle back. When you think about it, down 22 points and then to even have the opportunity to potentially win at the end. When you look at the youth on your team, who really took a step forward today?
Natalia Nelson, number 21, she did a tremendous job today coming in. She earned her way on the floor, and it took her most of the season before she earned her way on the floor in February. Well, actually, yeah, in February, late January, on the defensive end of the floor. She got to play because she was defending extremely well, and she was capable of rebounding. So she earned her way on the floor with defending, and we worked with just playing to her strengths offensively. And then she went in today and did a good job defensively. And then when we needed to press, she did a great job up the floor. She had an incredible motor. She just kept getting after it. And then she did, in a very, very good way, played to her strengths on the offensive end of the floor, put the ball to the floor, and did a tremendous job. So for Natalia, she saw herself play her best college basketball game tonight.
Any other questions for Coach? Back right.
Coach, in the previous question I asked you, you was talking about executing a game plan. So I just wanted to ask, were there any parts of the game plan that you found weren't executed tonight?
It's hard for me to see Mayo, hit those threes, because we just talked so much about not leaving her on the strong side. If you're on help side and you're guarding her, adjusted help so that she cannot catch and shoot a three. And again, you got to give credit to Ajanique for getting open and banging down shots. But that was really tough to watch her do that. So I would say that would be the biggest part of the game plan that we didn't execute.
Got time for one more. We'll go second row.
Peyton Hopp of the Tapalia. So you stepped in for Doug Bruno, and you ended the season with a 13-19 record. How are you feeling currently after this whole season?
I just, I had visions of us really coming in here and playing great. And that's what I thought our players did a great job this year, just hanging in there and staying with it and dealing with the adversity. And I wanted them to be rewarded by coming in and having a great weekend. But I wanted this to be their moment, but you got to work. You got to make it be your moment, and we didn't get that done. So right now I'm just thinking about the fact that I wanted this to be our team's moment, and we didn't. And you gotta make it, and we didn't make it our moment, So that's really all I'm thinking about. And again, like I started, I just thank Jory Allen again in the locker room for being just a tremendous leader for us this season.
Coach, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Come on in. How you doing? Congrats.
Thank you.
Joining us from Xavier, head coach Billy Chambers, student athletes Azanique Mayo and Mary Canerva. We'll begin with an opening statement from Coach, followed by questions for the student athletes.
Yeah.
Coach?
Before we obviously even talk about the game, I just want to obviously send well wishes to Doug Bruno and just talk about how incredible of a job that Jill did taking over with such a difficult time of trying to pull that team together. She did an incredible job with them. Obviously, I'm incredibly proud of our group and the poise and confidence that they came out with, not having a lot of experience in this moment, but just playing with a sense of joy and a sense of passion and just wanting to get it done for each other. And then the composure that they kept, obviously giving up a big lead and allowing them to come back and riding it out and finishing it. I'm just super proud of this group, and I'm excited for them to have the opportunity to take that win there.
Questions for the student athletes? We'll go to John in the second row.
John Fanta from Fox Sports. Ajanique, Mary, I'll start with you, Ajanique. How did you two feed off each other to have this kind of day? And did you know when you woke up this morning it was going to be this type of day?
I mean, it felt like a great feeling, at least waking up this morning and going to shoot around and being active this morning. But as far as piggybacking off of each other, I mean, it feels great. Like, this is what we wanted in order for us to get our Big East win in a Big East tournament.
Mary, what about you?
I would say, like, I feel like we all knew that we have something to show, and we came up strong and showed that we can win games too. And I feel like Nick already said, like, it's March, so it's time to play.
I guess along those lines, just a quick follow-up, Shu Ajanique. It's March. Coach told us yesterday, 0-0 heading into this week. You make a statement here today. Your offense breaks out. Tomorrow you're going to meet a team that just a week ago, less than a week ago, you played right down to the wire in a game that you could have been on the winning side of. What's the belief level with this team right now? What's possible for this Xavier team?
I mean, anything is possible. Like, we have nothing to prove. Like, we want to go out and make it far, shock everybody. Like, our thing that we say with Coach Chambers is mind on March, and that's where it's March time came from. So we're going to go out and shock everybody.
Questions for the student athletes? Go ahead.
I'm sorry, but when you win a conference tournament game first time in a decade, you're not leaving after two questions here. Mary, tell me about this team. What is about the culture of this group that's allowed this group to stay together? Because there's a lot of teams that could have just let the season end. You're thinking about the Bahamas or whatever. You showed up here, you played hard, you won this game. What is it about this team?
I would say, like, we believe in each other, we stay together, and I don't know, it's just like, it's not been the best season. So everybody's like, we gotta go and show. And like, we believe in each other, and we wanna like, believe in us and go out there and stay together and like, come out strong.
Any other questions for the student athletes?
Megan Caffrey, Big East. Mary, I'll piggyback off of what you said a little bit, and Ajanique, you can chime in here as well. But in saying that we want to show what Xavier basketball is, that we have something to show, what is it? What is Xavier basketball playing at your best?
I would say playing together, showing like passion, and just sharing the ball, playing like I don't know, yeah, like staying together and showing that we can play really well and like offensively and defensively be really aggressive.
Yeah, I'll piggyback off that, especially on a defensive end. Like, we're a defensive program, and that's what we want to come out and be good at every game. So, yeah.
And my final one, Ajanique, was there any talk coming into this weekend of what you could do? I mean, John mentioned it too. It's been a decade since this has happened. So was that in the back of your mind a little bit? Did you guys have conversations, or was it just, hey, we're just going to come in and play some basketball?
It was just come in and play basketball.
Ladies, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Questions for Coach? Megan, go ahead.
Coach, I'll bring that same question to you a little bit, right? With the significance of this win and just how big of a deal it is for your program, taking that next step forward. What does it mean to you to be the coach that earned this win with your team, with this specific team?
Sure, it's obviously huge for our coaching staff. We believe in this group. We understand the process. We know that it's early in the process. So you get close so many times and you feel it every single time and you know they're feeling it. But like Maddie said, they do a really good job of continuing to believe in each other and find the positive moments and find the wins in every single game. So for us to have the opportunity to come in and get it done, they're not even thinking about 10 years to the day. They had no idea until we talked about it just before we came in. But, it's huge for our growth, for kind of a reminder of, even though we didn't quite get it done the way we wanted to get it done this season, we're still on the right path. And we're still building something pretty special. So I'm super proud of, how hard they worked to bring this one home.
Questions for Coach? Go to John on the left.
Coach, when a freshman and a sophomore are the ones who are combining for 55 points in a conference tournament game, or on a team that finished in the top 6 in this league, that's an eye-opener in a lot of ways because they were made for the moment. What did you see with these two and how Mary and Ajanique sort of played off one another, allowed each other to benefit?
Sure. So it was awesome to watch, and you could see Neek. Obviously, we've had so many conversations throughout the year of her up and down play and her frustration with her up and down play. Obviously, coming out of the gate strong last year when she was cleared to go, she was looking for so much more for herself and had so higher expectations. But she stayed the course, and you could see it slowing down for her a little bit, right? You start to get guarded a little bit differently as a sophomore when they know who you are, and she was still so rushed in so many moments throughout the season, and she just let it come to her. And you saw those two so many times having conversations of how to control it, what to do, what reads to make off the ball screen. So it was really special to see those two come together, such a young duo, taking us to that win. It's really awesome to watch them grow up right before your eyes.
What did you do against Seton Hall less than a week ago that must translate tomorrow night?
I thought we defended really well. I thought we disrupted them. We're a team, like they said, that wants to disrupt for 40 minutes. So we want to throw different presses at you. We want to send you to your second, third, fourth option. We want to deny your best players. We want to take you out of rhythm, and we want to take charges. And the first time around at their place, I think we took 7 charges, which are most in the game for the year. And you could see them kind of pulling up early at our place, not getting all the way to the rim because they wanted to avoid the charge. So make them take tough contested twos. So we did a great job of that at home, and I think it built a lot of confidence. Obviously, goes without saying, Jada Eads was not playing in that game, and she's a really tough matchup. So I'm assuming she'll be back and ready to go. For tomorrow, we're gonna have to be even more locked in on making sure we take away option 1, 2, and 3. But this is a defensive-minded group, and they want to disrupt, and they know they're coming. No pressure on, just go and spoil everything.
It's a spot in the conference tournament semifinals on the line tomorrow night. This is a step, but the way that we talked yesterday, you said to our group, you didn't think about just winning one Big East game this season. The goals were higher, and when people see Xavier women's basketball, they see some tradition. They see some banners, albeit in a different league. Things have changed, but it begs the question of, okay, what's possible at Xavier? I know you have a large goal list of things that you still want to accomplish, but if there's something we're saying on national TV tomorrow night when your program's on that stage in the quarters, what do you see as the vision of Xavier women's basketball?
Sure. I think there's something so special about a team that just never gives up. And I think we've seen it so many times in games this year where it just hasn't gone our way. Things haven't gone right. We've turned the ball over way too much. We've given the other team way too many possessions. We've really made it really hard for ourselves to win basketball games. But you see them. You see the energy. You could see it all week as we were preparing. They bought into the idea of 0-0, come in and just take all the good with you and throw away all the bad. And they truly committed to that coming into today. So you could feel the energy. You could feel the bounce going into it. But there's something just truly special about a team that never stops fighting, and that's who we want to be. A defensive-minded team. You never quit. You play from buzzer to buzzer to get after it. And this coaching staff is here to build. We knew we took on a really tough lift, and we're here for every single moment of it, the good, the bad, the hard, and we're excited to take this program back to national prominence.
We'll go back to Megan for the final question.
Billy, just to follow up on that, when you say take all the good with you and throw away the bad, from today's game, what's the good you're going to take with you going into tomorrow?
I think the biggest good that you can take is the composure when we let the lead slip away. For such a young group, you can get rattled. You can start to see the eyes look at you like, what are we doing here? And you could see in those moments, some of them take over and settle the team down before we even said a word as coaches. So that composure is going to be really important for us. Seton Hall is a very tough team, a very well-coached team, and we have to stay composed for 40 minutes if we want to get one more.
Coach, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good luck tomorrow.
Thank you.